What is life without friendship? What is life without having a companion to discuss your difficult times with? Well, my friend, for those of us that are struggling with our friendships, perhaps this might be beneficial. My name's Tarab. I make videos about emotional intelligence every day. My mission is to convince you that this life is not so hard. In fact, it's beautiful when we start taking advantage of the little things that we can learn. Khalil Gibran's chapter on friendship is going to be a continuation of a series that I'm doing to make sure that people are aware that their spiritual selves are just important as their rational selves. Not to say they're two different things, but that sometimes those things contrast. On friendship. And a youth said, "Speak to us of friendship." And he answered, saying, "Your friend is your needs answered. He is your field with which you sow with love and reap with thanksgiving, and he is your board and your fireside. For you come to him with your hunger, and you seek him for peace. When your friend speaks his mind, you fear not the nay in your own mind, nor do you withhold the a or the I. And when he is silent, your heart ceases not to listen to his heart. For without words in friendship, all thoughts, all desires, all expectations are born and shared, with joy that is unclaimed. When you part from your friend, you grieve not, for that which you love most in him may be clearer in his absence, as the mountain to the climber is clearer from the plain. And let there be no purpose in friendship save the deepening of the spirit. For love that seeks aught but disclosure of its own mystery is not love, but a net cast forth, and only the unprofitable is caught. And let your best be for your friend. If he must know the ebb and your tide, let him know its flood also. For what is your friend that you should seek him with hours to kill? Seek him always with hours to live. For it is his to fill your needs, but not your emptiness. And in the sweetness of friendship, let there be laughter and sharing of pleasures. For in the dew of little things, the heart finds its morning and is refreshed. I've had the opportunity of making many friends in my life by virtue of moving a lot and by just having an interest in human beings, really. That's why I think I can speak on emotional intelligence. And I've come to a point many times in my life where I have thought to myself, it is my mission or purpose in life to convince a friend to live their life a certain type of way. And in the pursuit of attempting to, in quotations, help my friend, I have actually furthered myself from an essential truth that friendship does not happen necessarily for a reason. Friendship, the best friendship, is one that is the easiest to come by, the most naturalistic, the most innate association with another human being. Hell, you could be friends with a tree, I don't know. But I think what Gibran is pointing to in this chapter is a really essential takeaway for any of our personal relationships. That if we are looking to abuse our friendship, to always go into our friendships with complaining, or to always go into our friendships with the negativity in our life, and to put it on our friends or to put it on our people that we're associating with, that we're actually not taking advantage of that relationship genuinely, spiritually. There is something that I read a long time ago that said, be joyful around your friends, because that joy is actually the safety net of your friendship. Meaning you might be friends with someone for a very long time, and at some point you might start to inject some negativity, assuming that that person will always be around. And I think that's a flawed way to go about it. because a friend has the ability to leave. Geographically speaking, we may move away. But really, if we don't uphold our end of the bargain, or if our friend doesn't uphold our end of the bargain being, let's enjoy life together, then what is the point of sticking around? And enjoying life doesn't necessarily mean that you're always laughing. Enjoying life means, in my opinion, that you value the ebbs and the tides. That sure, you might be going through a difficult time, or sure, you might be going through a really joyous time, but this too shall pass. Friendships are kind of the fertilizer of our life. They're the things that allow us to reflect when we really need it. A lot of times when I have deeper conversations with my friends, it actually helps me tremendously work through some of the issues in my life, or work through a complicated problem about perhaps human nature or emotional intelligence in general. All depends on the quality of our friendships. But also, Patrick Bet-Davis, one of my role models on Instagram or in life, he said, he actually quoted something earlier today about how very important it is to be in a good mood when you come home. To actually genuinely try to be optimistic and excited when we come home. The quote went something like this: be kind, be in a good spirit when coming home, because the people that are in your home might not always be there, but the home will stay. Meaning, for instance, if your parents are around, I currently live with my mother. If my parents are around and I'm constantly acting like an asshole, or if I'm constantly pushing or prodding, that happiness, that amount of association that I could have, that won't always be around. There needs to be a value for our immediate circumstance. There needs to be a value, a genuine, deep human value for being pleasant around people and for being optimistic. So if you find yourself in situations where people are letting you down, or that life just doesn't seem to go right, first and foremost, I would always argue, analyze how you're looking at things. The second step, the easier step, is to then analyze your environment. I'll read some parts of this again that I hopefully will click some, in my opinion, very important spiritual aspects of relationships. And let your best be for your friend. If he must know the ebbs of your tide, let him know its flood also. Authenticity. For what is your friend that you should seek him with hours to kill? Seek him always with hours to live. For it is his to fill your need, but it is not his to fill your emptiness. And in the sweetness of friendship, let there be laughter and the sharing of pleasures. For in the dew of little things, the heart finds its morning and is refreshed. There has been many times also that I have literally just called a friend for sake of calling a friend, thinking to myself, oh, I just want to procrastinate for a moment, or I want something interesting to think about, or I'm curious what they're doing. And though the reason might not be associated to business or making my life progressing down these this long path that I've set for myself, the little moments of joy in life should never ever be forgotten or sold short. It's part of what makes the marathon of life actually sustainable. Those little laughters, those little curiosities, listening. He also talks, really interesting little point here that I actually haven't hit on yet, is When your friend speaks his mind, you fear not the nay in your mind. So you're not you're not trying to make them feel a certain way about you, right? There's still an authenticity. Nor do you withhold the yes. And when he is silent, your heart ceases not to listen to his heart, using his, her, them, whatever it is. But you can almost feel it when you know someone. You can feel it with their eye contact. You can feel it with their demeanor, the way that they're talking, what they're kind of going through. And as a good friend, you would inquire if it's something that's a little bit off. For without words in friendship, all thoughts, all desires, all expectations are born and shared without words, with joy that is unclaimed. When you part from your friend, you grieve not. Sometimes I've been sad when they live really far away, for that which you love most in him may be clearer in his absence. As the mountain to the climber is clearer from the plain, and let there be no purpose in friendship save the deepening of the spirit. For love that seeks aught but the disclosure of its own mystery is not love, but a net cast forth, and only the unprofitable is caught. I would like you, this is my final request, thank you for listening this long, really appreciate it, but I would like you to go and have a very interesting conversation with your friend. And the topic of the conversation is, why are we friends? I did this exercise upon finding out about it from Simon Sinek, who in my opinion is one of the foremost thought leaders in emotional intelligence when it comes to society. And he said that the importance of having this conversation is so deep because it reaffirms, in my opinion, this is my synopsis of going through it, it reaffirms all of the beautiful things about both of you. It really does. Because over time, we forget to say to someone, hey, I really appreciate this about you. Or you're my role model in this sense. Or thanks just for being there, right? It's very simple, very, very simple things, because we feel them all the time. We feel that we perhaps don't need to say them to people. They'll understand through our actions. But to put that stuff out there almost resets the whole scenario and adds a lot more joy to the friendship if you're thinking it's lacking some sort of beauty or some sort of sparkle. Give it a shot, my friend. This is a video I made a long time ago with Paul, one of my close friends. I hope he still watches my videos, but hopefully it'll go to show how very important it is to have a joy about associating with people. So actualize your potential catalyst, because this world needs you. Take care of yourself.